Good evening and welcome back to the Mindful Model Maker. I'm still working on this Southern Region Merchant Navy class loco. I've built the two bits of chassis. One is for the actual loco part and the other bit is for the tender. So I haven't done black and the white bits that go round yet. And as you can hear, I've used this varnish. I've got this off eBay. It's just a Paint Factory gloss varnish, 4 cans, spray varnish, $12.99, which I think is good. So I mean, I think that will be around for a long time, and it gives it a glossy finish. It's just one coat that's had on there, but it's not only that; it's hardened. You can hear that. It's hardened the card up quite substantially. Right, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to cut the boiler out. You don't often see me making much of this because I tend to do a bit and then film what I've done. But this time I'm going to do it the other way around. I'm going to make a little bit, show you what I do, and of course if it goes wrong you'll see it live because I don't edit nothing out. So I've never edited in my whole entire life, so there we are. Right, so scalpel, safety ruler, and as you know I copied this from the original and stuck it on a piece of card myself. So as you can see, a slight discrepancy there because you can see a bit of the creamy colour which you shouldn't see. So we'll take that off there because it gives a bit of a taper to the boiler. We don't want that being the wrong shape. So we'll take that off like so. That's it. That's it, like that. Good, that's gone now. Right, and we go down to this bit, which is the slight little overlap bit, which you can put the glue on, that bit there. So run the knife blade straight down through, like that. And that's it, that's party company from that. And you've still got the right shape on there. And take that away now. And now we can cut the end bit off. That's it, like so. It's always worth lining up, taking your time, and cutting straight through. So that one there. And then again on the top, which should give it the right length, like so. Cut through. So there we are. That is the boiler part, and you can see on there it's got the markings for the safety valves, and that I believe is the chimney. There is a separate part to make the chimney for this. Now what I do in order to roll these, let's clear everything out of the way. I start off with something that's too big, and I just put it down and start to kind of roll it around that. And what it does is kind of breaks the car, but it doesn't put folds into it. You don't want folds into it. So it kind of goes a little bit like that then. Okay, and then I slowly work my way down, smaller and smaller and smaller. And then I'll probably go far too small, deliberately, in which to, so that it will roll it inside. So that's like that. Just kind of roll it round and round. Just keep going around like so. If you kind of feel a line coming on it, then with the warmth of your fingers, just kind of smooth it out a bit. You're not going to see a lot of this because obviously you've got the cowling that goes over the side, okay? So I'm just going to keep on breaking that down a little bit more. So just, what you're doing really is kind of educating the piece of card as to which shape you want it into. This is probably slightly too thick. This is where you're sometimes better off with thinner rather than thicker. So I think if I'd done this again, I would put it on thinner card. Is what I would do. Right, so now we're going to go to the smallest size and just roll that in like so. Just keep rolling it in. And of course that's opened out. And now I can just tuck that to where it really needs to go. There are a few kind of sharp edges on this. It is a little bit like a fruity bit at the moment. Not too bad, but I want to smooth that out a little bit first. So I'm just going to kind of roll that out a bit like so. Make it warm and roll to get them edges rounder than what they are. Then go back down to this smaller bit again. Put it in there like so and roll it around. Around again like so. That's it. Then we need to line it up kind of properly so that you get a bit stuck there. And a bit there like so. Just put that on there again and roll that in tighter still. We can do that. Just keep rolling it round and round. I would suggest going with a slightly bit of thinner card, but I don't think we're going to see too much of it. So as long as the top bit's pretty good, because these panels are going to go along the side, so I don't think it's going to hurt it anyway. I'm going to carry on with the make on it, because I don't think there's anything wrong. Right, so there we are on there. We've rolled the boiler as so. Then I should get my trusty tin of paint, a little bit of glue in the lid, which is what I tend to do a lot of now. So we can just put that there like that. You can see better then. Then I use an old piece of rail, actually, a little bit of 00 gauge rail, and I'm just laying, this is Rocket, the card Rocket glue, which is not quite as quick as super glue, but it's not far off it. So I've run that along that seam where it says glue. So now what we need to do is get the first edge onto that and try and get it along a little bit there, like so. That's it there. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put the piece of wood back in, just use it so that I can put a bit of pressure on it there and back to there, right the way along that edge. I can press it without squashing it then by just rubbing my fingers along like that. And then in a minute we can just use it to try and lose some of those edges. But the top part where the chimney is looking quite round, so I'm quite happy with that. So that's that bit, and that will eventually sit on there with the back plate on there, and everything. So that's the boiler made, which will then go on there. I'm just going to let it dry before I do anything else with it, really. I'll put the stick back in, because I use the stick to just press along until it goes off, till it's dry. And then what I'll do, I'll put it in. It'd be nice if you had something the actual size of the boiler to put in there. Yeah, that bit's okay, but the other bit's too small, because we've got some tapered bit here like this. I could do it like that. So I'm using a paintbrush now. Just pushed it in, kind of around the edge, and I can just shape it round a little bit better at that end, and then I can slide it off because it's tapered, put it back in again, and bring it back round to there, like so. So I don't think that's too bad. I think that's good enough for that top bit. I can just iron out. As your fingers get warm, you can iron that out to get the actual boiler, like so. So there we are. That's the boiler rolled, ready to go on that chassis when we put the other bits and pieces. So anyway, that's it so far. With making the Merchant Navy class. So I thought I'd just give you a little update, because there hasn't been many videos, but I've been preparing other bits and pieces which will be coming along soon. So that's why I haven't been around to do a lot of this. So that's fitting on that paintbrush quite nicely there. So I might just leave it on there to dry and just give it a little roll around like so. But yeah, so that's the boiler made, and then we'll come back tomorrow possibly and make the next bits. There's a footplate part that goes on top of there, but I'll have a little look. What I might make next is cut the tender out and have a go with that as well, and cut the cowling to see how that's going to shape up, because you've got to shape that as well to go over the boiler. So that's going to be something else to do, and of course there's back plates to go on and various other bits, the cab. So yeah, it looks quite simple and there's not many parts, but I think this one's going to be quite fiddly. So anyway, and the good thing, of course, making this off the master, if I do mess anything up, I can remake another one. So we can see what happens then. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. And that's where we are so far now. So boiler's now done, pretty round enough, I think, that it's not really going to affect any more of the, and it has got a slight taper in it as well. You can see that it's wider at the back than at the front, and of course that will go onto there underneath the cowling. There we are. So that's the next stage of that done. Anyway, I'll see you in the next video. Please subscribe if you want to see the rest. And of course, there are some others that I've made. So just subscribe, press the bell button, and every time a new video comes out, you'll be notified. Anyway, see you in the next one. Thank you very much. Bye now.